Dire Dawa, in the eastern part of Ethiopia, is one of the biggest cities in the country and has been attracting more and more people to settle here in recent years. However, around 80% of Ethiopians still live in rural areas. The urban population is projected to nearly triple within the next 20 years. The modernization and urbanization have already started to cause changes in family structures. Although in African culture the elderly are given high social status and extended families usually take care of them, yet traditional support systems have started shifting, and older people are increasingly left without any support. In a country where there is no universal pension scheme, they end up on the streets or in shelters. 80-year-old Hasudidich has established a home for older people in Dire Dawa. She has been helping the elderly since she was a child by taking them in from the streets to her family home and bathing them. That's why she is called the Mother Teresa of Ethiopia. This place is different from many other shelters in the country. Older people are encouraged to get involved in different productive activities. They have their own garden with orange trees and a herd of cows, allowing them to sell milk and fruit to their neighbors. Mrs. Hasudidich is setting an example to others. She wakes up early in the morning and starts her day by milking the cows.
ደስ ያላቸው የሚችሉ ይሰራሉ አይገደዱም ታልቻሉ ደግሞ የራሳቸው በራሳቸው ያው ዱምና ነበራቸው በተኑት ሲጣሉ አሁን እነሱ ዱምና መጫወት ራሳቸው በራሳቸው የእድሜ ባለጸጋ ናቸው.
About 90 residents are living at the shelter at the moment. People often bring homeless elderly here from the streets as relatives don't want to or are unable to take care of them anymore. Mr. Magetsu claims he is 105 years old. He has been living here for 6 years. He worked for an Italian doctor for many years, but since he left, he stays alone. His children don't visit him. The shelter is usually a somnolent place, but gets louder during lunchtime. Almost all Ethiopian meals have to include injera, a traditional bread which is prepared in a special oven. People eat injera with vegetables, meat, and spicy sauces. Yet the place gets really loud when young people come here to visit. The elderly like to talk and joke with them. Mrs. Hasudidich says there has to be time for praying and for having fun.
ተስካርም ያመጣሉ ሰው ሲመጡባቸውም ተስካርኛ ጋር ያበላሉ ሰርግምኛ የደሞ ምርቃት ተማሪዎች ሲመረቁ እኛ ጋር ይደግሳሉ አሁን በቀደምነታ ልማት ባንክ እዚህ ነው ያከበረው ልማት ባንኮች እኛ ጋር ሩጫ ዘገመድ ጎተታ እዚህ በቃ ማታ አንዱ ሲያስቁን እዚህ.
Although Ethiopia still has a very young population, it is aging too. The UN predicts the number of people above 60 years old will double by 2050. In a fast-growing Addis Ababa, demographic and social changes are even more visible than in Dire Dawa. Less and less extended families live under one roof, and there are hundreds of older people begging on the streets. Antonech, who lives in the suburbs, says she doesn't get support from her son nor from the government.
እንደውም ባለፈው ቀበሌ እርዳታ ይሰጣል ቀበሌ ሄደሽ ለምን አትመዘገቢም አሉ አው ሲሉኝ ተነሳው ተሄድኩኝ በኋላ ምን አሉ አይ አሉ አቆሟል ሲሉኝ ጊዜ ዝም ብዬ ቀር እንጂ የታመንግስትም ማገኘው ነገር የለም ምንም ነገር አላገኘም እኔ ግን የሰፈር ልጆች ብሎ ይግቡ ነው የሚረዱኝ የሰፈር ልጆች ናቸው.
Yet support for abandoned elderly has come from an unexpected source, funeral communities called Idir. The first Idirs were established more than 100 years ago, and their main role is to help families organize funerals for relatives and console in grieving. The treasurer of a 700-person Idir in Addis says that more elderly people live alone today than 10 years ago, and an Idir's role has to be developed.
ችግረኛ ከሆነ ምንም የላቸውም ተብሎ ከተገመተ ዘይት ፍርኖ ዱቄት ስኳር ይሰጣል እድሩ የሚያደርጋል ሌሎችም በጓድራጊ እንትኖች የሚያደርጋሉ አብሮ ያደርጋል አሁን ለነቴንሽ ሁሉ ይሰጣል በየአመቱ አሉ ይሰጣል ለትልልቅ ሰዎች አዛውንቶች ችግረኛ ለሆኑት ይሰጣል.
Yet in the countryside, Just a few kilometers outside of Dire Dawa and Addis Ababa, extended families live together, and the elderly are taken care of by their relatives. And among some ethnic groups, there still exist cultural and religious systems that make elderly people powerful and influential. It is believed that if someone treats them badly, it can backfire. Still, in urban areas, modernity destroys these protection mechanisms, and there is a need to come up with a new way to help the elderly.